live here in 1 second. I'm just going to check my phone, mute it so that we don't have an echo here. Wonderful, wonderful. And there we are, I believe. Yes. I can see my lovely face on Facebook. All righty, so we are live, everybody. Hello, everyone. It's very quiet. I didn't realize how quiet it would be if I kept everybody muted. Welcome to the 9th of our Zoom play reading series. My name is Celeste Cosentino. I'm the Executive Artistic Director of Ensemble Theater. I will be admitting some people here as this starts, so bear with me. I always like to do a little talking at the top, just to get everybody in here at the last minute so nobody misses anything. Once again, if I mute you for any reason, please don't take that personally. It is just me making sure that we're not all talking on top of one another as we navigate this lovely software that we all use to do theater in times during a pandemic. COVID has been with us all for too long. I hope that we are hoping to be soon on the other end of this thing, maybe sometime in the spring or the summer, where we can actually have these readings in person again. And who knows, still maybe do them via Zoom and project them on our screen, but then people could actually come in and see them in the theater and sit in the audience. So I do miss theater in person quite horribly. I'm sure everybody does. There's something about being in a theater space that will never be replaced. That is for sure. So bear with me here for the next maybe minute or so. I just want to make sure we get everybody in. Really decent house here on Zoom. Let me see here too. We got a good following on Facebook. Yay, exciting times. I like how many people we can also reach via this internet platform. Theater without boundaries. As much as I would love for us to be in person, it is really cool that we have people reading tonight from different states. So that's also one of the positives that using Zoom has been. I haven't seen Skip in quite some time in person, so it's really great to have him reading with us tonight. You're from down there in South Carolina, North Carolina, or South Carolina? You'll have to correct me if I was wrong. Skip, you'll let everybody know. Who has done many a show at Ensemble and was a Cleveland actor a little bit ago. So
there we go. South Carolina.
South Carolina, that's what I thought. Beautiful place.
It is beautiful.
We used to go down to Murrells Inlet all the time with my husband's family. It's a great little place to go. So yes, once again, welcome everybody. I was just making sure I let in our people in the Zoom audience before we got officially started. But we'll get rolling here. I can also keep admitting people as we go along. Once again, please do not take it personally if I mute you. It's just me kind of keeping control of what's going on. The way that our Zoom is operating is that it focuses on who's speaking. So that's also too why if you're not in a reading that's currently taking place, if you could keep your audio and your video off, because then that allows us to focus on the people who are in fact reading. So that helps us just on the end of making sure that we can see who is talking. This is, I believe, our 9th of the play reading series that we're doing. So this is the 9th time we've done it. We're doing them every other Monday. I am putting here for everybody a link to the page on our website that's kind of got all the information that you need. I once again am prepared with the scripts that we're going to do next week. I was really impressed with myself. Just to let you know kind of what's happening. It's a good way to stay in touch and just keep updated on what scripts we're doing on the next reading. There's of course a link if you wanted to donate to the theater. We would love that. Not required. These are all kind of free and open to the public. But of course, as many theaters are navigating this time where we can't really do what we do, any donation is of course always appreciated. And it's just a good resource to kind of check and see, what's up, learn a little bit more about our playwrights, see who's doing the readings. They'll tell you a little bit about themselves and why they wrote their plays in this forum. But the website also gives you a little bit more in-depth kind of understanding of who these wonderful people are. There is also a link, so I won't go too much into detail, that I'll share about our stage rights unit, which is actually the group that puts on these wonderful short plays. So that'll give you kind of a little bit of background. I'll share this link as well as to who this group is. They meet every other Wednesday. They did in person prior to the COVID pandemic, and they shared each other's work. And so now we've just kind of moved it into the digital realm, and now also done these every other Monday nights readings of these wonderful short plays that they're writing. So without further ado, let us get started. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and introduce the playwright. They'll tell you a little bit about why they wrote the play, and then they'll introduce you to their wonderful cast of actors, and their actors will read. Two things, and this is for our audience via Zoom, which we have about 55 people tonight, yay, via Zoom. And then there's another option via the Facebook live stream. If you want to use that chat function to share feedback, to give everybody, clapping, to do your reactions to what you're hearing and what you're seeing. We love to read those in between. It's a great way to share our sentiments with one another. So please, if you would like, use that chat function either in the Facebook feed or in Zoom here as well to share your thoughts. So without further ado, if Ed Walsh and if his actors, Skip and Pete or Luther? Pete?
It's both actually, but most people know me as an actor here in Cleveland by Pete.
They call you Pete? I like calling you. I'll call you Pete.
Yeah, well, thank you, Jess.
So I will go ahead and introduce Ed Walsh. Is his piece that we're starting off with tonight is The Bridge. So if you want to tell everybody just a little bit about your script and why you wrote it, introduce us to your actors, and then we'll get started.
The Bridge is a play that I wrote. Pardon?
Louder.
The Bridge is a play that I wrote because we were dealing with a subject which is the subject of prejudice, which a lot of talk has been going on for years, and some action and some talk has been coming up more of late. But I wanted to do a piece that was not terribly solemn and that perhaps could show out how ridiculous it is for us to judge other people by the color of their skin, by the texture of their hair, by the color of their eyes. So I chose to do a piece that deals with something I found in my own family, redheads. And to introduce the play and the very talented people in it is Rannigan Walsh, my wife.
The Bridge, a 10-minute play by Edward J. Walsh. The characters are Tank, being a homeless white person, being played by Skip Chorus, and Benny, a homeless Black man, being played by Pete Robinson. Reading the stage directions is myself, Rannigan Walsh. The setting, a bridge over a river. The time is the present. Act 1. At Rise, Tank and Benny sit atop a bridge railing, looking down into the river below, sharing a bottle of wine. They pass the bottle back and forth at intervals. Tank, who wears a pair of broken eyeglasses, has a large improvised bandage around one forearm.
You're hanging on to that bottle like it's your firstborn.
I don't want to be dropping it. Not up here.
Oh, come on now. You got me a Sunday morning thirst that needs quenching.
Benny hands wine bottle to Tank.
That's why. That's why there's so few people on the river. Because it's Sunday morning.
You mean because they're in church praising the Lord?
Yeah, something we ought to be doing.
Beg your pardon, but I recently attended church service.
Oh, yeah? And when was that?
A couple of weeks ago at St. Aloysius.
No way. You spent the last 2 months, a month of Sundays, sitting up here with me, drinking wine and looking down at the comings and goings on the river.
It was on a Monday when I went to St. Aloysius.
Monday is when they serve the free chicken dinner, which does not count as going to church time.
You count your way, I'll count mine. Oh, there's a boat coming around the bend.
It looked like some young folks in it. 4 of them. And they're waving at us.
Waving at us, all right, with their middle finger.
That ain't so, Tank. Your eyes is needing your glasses. They just a greeting us like most folks do when they see us sitting up here on the bridge.
You see what you see, and I see what I see.
And even if they was waving with the middle finger, it wouldn't do us no harm. They down there and we up here.
Hear them hooting and hollering, disturbing the peace and quiet in every direction.
Yeah. You sure got yourself an attitude since that dust off under the bridge.
Yeah, well, there I was, stretched out, sleeping peaceful like. Suddenly, I wake up and get my ass whooped by a bunch of young wharf rats. Left me with broken eyeglasses and one bad arm when it was all over.
Tank takes off and shows broken glasses to Benny.
I kind of wake up. It gives a man an attitude.
You need to be looking into replacing those eyeglasses.
I can see what I can see, all right.
It was just an unlucky thing. You being where you was when those wolf raps came upon you.
Tank hands wine bottle to Benny.
Well, maybe my luck is changing for the better. Retribution may be close at hand.
What you mean?
You see one of them boys down there raise up his cap and then put it down again?
Sure enough, I seen it.
Now, that boy is a redhead. Red as a damn carrot.
So, what's that matter?
One of them wharf rats, what messed me up? He was a redhead. Red as a carrot.
It don't mean that that boy in that boat is one of them kids that went and jumped you.
There was 4 of them that jumped me, just like there's 4 of them in that boat.
Just 'cause there's 4 don't mean it was them that done it to you.
That redhead, he was one of them roughnecks, is what I think. Redhead. Looks likely with red eyes.
Red eyes? Ain't nobody got no red eyes.
The devil's got red eyes and red hair, too.
And you saying that there boy down there is the devil himself?
No. He's likely one of the devil's offspring.
And his eyes, how you know they red?
I'd have to get me a closer look to verify, but I bet you a full bottle of the Lambrusco. I'd be right.
What have you been drinking make you think such things, such thoughts? You sipping from some bottle of wine gone bad to vinegar?
No, I have done no such thing. Now hand me that bottle you are clutching, if you don't mind.
Benny hands bottle to Tank, who swigs.
Yeah. Whoever was it that told you redheads are the devil's offspring?
Just figured it out for myself.
And you believe in that?
Into it. After reading one of their magazines in the library, a cold winter's day, it's all about how the redheads were heading for an evolutionary dead end. Won't be no more than one day. As far as I'm concerned, we'll be better off for it.
Now, why would you think this world would be a better place if there was no more redheads?
Safer, less trouble, fewer fights, not so much thieving. Less sex problems, what do you call it, promiscuity. Oh, I could go on.
Go on about what?
Redheads got themselves a well-deserved reputation for igniting fires wherever they go. Hot-tempered types is what they are. The redder the hair, the hotter the temper.
Tank, it seems to me that most of what you saying about them red-headed folks is pretty much shared by all of us walking this planet. Ain't no difference. I've seen plenty of hot-tempered people, got no sign of red hair.
Well, just take a look at them and you can see how they're different. Ain't just the red hair. There's watery skins, pale with their freckles plastered on their faces and up and down their arms. I seen some of them naked when I was in service. I had to look away.
How about passing that bottle back before you drain it clean so as I can get the last wig?
Not to disappoint you, Benny. I finished up what's in the bottle and am just waiting until that damn wharf rats are right below us under the bridge.
Tank waves at the boat.
Gotta look friendly, like we don't know who they are.
But we don't know who they are.
Oh, but we do. And I'm sending that red-headed wharf rat a message soon as they're in my sights.
Tank holds wine bottle as if aiming to drop it below.
You are talking crazy talk.
This projectile is going to drop into the redhead's lap.
Tank, from this high up, with the wind blowing like it is, the only thing you hit in this river, just in the river, and you just be embarrassing yourself.
My years in the Air Force taught me how to compensate for such factors.
You was a cook, and the only projectiles you dropped was eggs into a skillet.
I learned a lot about dropping projectiles just listening to them flyboys talk.
You talking here about dropping a wine bottle, not a bomb.
So, you willing to make me a bet?
Bet about what?
That I will hit that red-headed wharf rat in the boat dead center?
You want me to lay a bet on something that could be hurting someone? No way.
I'm thinking you would bet against me hitting my target. You would bet that I missed the redhead and hit the river instead.
Calling off this dropping of the bottle is a better idea than making such bets.
Whichever of us loses the bet has to jump from here into the water. That's the wager.
It's got to be 50, maybe 60 feet from up here to down there.
Guess you think you lose a bet, huh?
Didn't say that.
Have to admit, it would take spine to leap into the river from up here.
I got spine and plenty of it.
That mean you're willing to wager?
I ain't wagering nothing. And what I am doing is taking away that wine bottle from you before you start playing bombardier with it.
He grabs at the wine bottle and struggles for possession of it. The bottle slips from Tank's hands down into the river.
Now look what you've done and done. Bottle hit way out in front of them wharf rats.
And ain't nobody been hurt.
That redhead son of the devil. Hey, he's looking up here. And he's giving us a finger again.
That ain't the finger he giving us, Tank.
No? What is it then?
Why don't you remember back in the day when people gave the peace sign? You know, the first and the second finger into making a V.
Yeah, I guess I do with that. Ain't seen nobody flashing a peace sign for a while.
And now look, all four of them boys down there is giving us a peace sign before they move onto this bridge.
Yeah, I'm not seeing things so good as I used to, you know.
How about we give the redhead boy and his friends the peace sign before they slide up underneath his here bridge and out of sight?
Tank and Benny show the peace sign.
Now, don't be thinking I changed my mind about that red-headed carrot tops.
Well, what about that boy under the bridge?
Well, maybe about just him.
Hmm. Well, that's a start, Tank. That's a start.
Yeah, but you're right as rain about one thing.
Well, what's that?
I need to be thinking how to find myself some new eyeglasses.
You sure do, Tank. You sure do.
Blackout.
Hey, awesome. Wonderful job, guys.
Thank
Let
you.
me turn on my video. There we go. Can you
Hey,
all see me?
Yes.
You can all see me again. Yeah, I'm going to spotlight myself. Thank you, Skip and Pete. That was wonderful. Ed is very good at writing very interesting characters, and you guys embody them very well. Thank you,
I love
Ed.
his
That was.
characters.
I'm never disappointed. Ed does really a good job with these short plays. We've done quite a few. A really great group of people. So yeah, Ed and Rannigan is also a playwright too. So we're lucky that we have them both. And they happen to be married as well, which is great. Skip, it was great to hear you again. You've done quite a few shows at Ensemble.
Yeah.
I actually I was remembering Iceman the other day, so it made me think of you fondly.
Iceman.
And I hope you're doing well down there in South Carolina.
Yeah, yeah.
Although
doing-
nothing is like Cleveland theater, so you know
Nothing,
all I can
nothing.
say.
Yes, he
Right?
knows that. Right,
People down
Skip?
here are wonderful and talented and just genuine and nice, but I miss Cleveland. I do.
Yeah.
I know, right? Here's some responses, just so you guys can hear it. Great job, all
Oh.
outstanding and funny, pertinent and very well acted. So authentic, loved it. That's great. I loved it by Amber. Agnes says bravo and intriguing. Really fine presentation of the play. Thank you, Ed, Skip, and Pete. We really enjoyed this, especially as a redhead. Oh, so you had a redhead in the audience. Love it. Really enjoyed this play. Very satisfying and great characters and actors. Well done, Ed. Nice message from innocent to prejudice. Yeah, so it's really interesting how heavy a topic you can address in a very short play. We always talk about that.
Right.
Well done. Love the actors as well. We were drawn in from the McQuarries in Pennsylvania. See, this is the one
Wow.
thing I do love that
Wow.
Zoom allows us to like kind of all get together, and there are no geographical boundaries. So when we talk about breaking boundaries of all kinds, the fact that we're breaking geographical ones is great. So
Outstanding.
welcome from Pennsylvania. You're right next to us in Ohio. That's great. Wonderful. Thank you again, Pete, and thank you again, Skip.
Pleasure.
Really, I mean,
Thank you.
I can't say enough how many wonderful actors have participated in this series. I can't say how many topics that we've covered. These playwrights do such a great job of putting in a very short play some very big topics and crafting plays that attack them very, eloquently and really well. So I'm really proud to help give them a platform to share it with you all. So thanks again for that.
Hey,
So
Miss Live Theater, though.
yes, Pete,
The last time I
agree
saw
with
you,
you.
I was doing Peter Lawson Jones play, and just saw him on television the other night. It was really cool.
in Chicago Fire. Yep, he's going to be actually doing a benefit reading for us, which I'll tell you guys about at the end. But yeah, no, it's been insane not being able to use our space. We actually had 4 musicians, and they were from the Cleveland Orchestra who used our space for some rehearsals. So there was
Right.
classical music playing in the theater space last week, which I loved.
Wow.
They used it for 4 days. They were all masked and they had cellos, so there was no like There was no spitting anywhere. It wasn't wind or instruments that you had to use your mouth. So they all wore masks.
Right.
So it was really interesting to have people in the actual theater space this past week, you know, and to turn on the lights and to see it like being used again and
Yeah.
filled with art.
Yeah,
So
I bet. Yeah, I bet. I'll bet. Well, I
So
can't
we
wait till we
will-
get back to normal, you know.
I agree. I cannot wait till we get to do this stuff in person again. Brian and Molly also just said, great acting, solid scenes, Ed, good tension and humor. We really liked it. So
Thank you.
yeah, some wonderful feedback, guys.
Yeah,
And thanks, Ed. You have a real touch. I always forget to look at the Facebook feed because I'm always looking right at the Zoom. So I always forget to give the feedback from, we have a little bit of an audience on Facebook as well. So from George, thanks, Ed. You have a real touch. You do. You're really good at crafting these short plays there, Ed Walsh. I'm very impressed. So without further ado, if you guys want to turn off your video and your audios and stay as audience, you're more than welcome to. Skip and Pete and Ed and Rannigan, but you guys share your own view, so you're not two separate computers. If Bernice and Agnes want to turn on your video and your sound, because you're part of our second piece here this evening. I have this week's schedule and I have next week's schedule. So I was like, I wanted to make sure I didn't grab the wrong postie. So up next, we have a monologue piece. So this is a one-person piece. This is the second one for Bernice. She's exploring this monologue short play. We have A Cat's Eye Views All by Bernice Kleiman. So the lovely Bernice will give you a little bit about why she wrote this script and introduce you to her wonderful actor. And we will see the second piece for this evening, A Cat's Eye Views All by Bernice Kleiman. So the stage is now yours, Bernice.
Thank you, Celeste. I have a cat named Loganberry. He's a long red cat I've had for 7 years, who really relished his status as an alpha cat. But now he is angry because in October, I added a corgi puppy to our family. Loganberry feels he lives in an unjust world, limited to caste inequalities, and he wants the world to know. He shared his comments with his friend, actor Agnes Herman. And so we have A Cat's Eye Views All, Sees All, and it is a monologue that is dictated by Loganberry, the cat. Agnes?
Right up front, I'm going to level with you and admit the truth. I'm a cat. No excuses, no hedging, no subterfuge. You'll find out anyway, so why hide it? My mother was a cat. My father, whomever he was also a cat, or so they tell me. That's just the way it is. I'd love to say that I'm descended from cat royalty, or even from a Persian tiger. Do they have tigers in Persia? But when all is said and done, I'm just a plain old alley cat. No pedigree, no papers, only the dregs of the bottom caste. I've accepted it and moved on. What choice do I have? But what really gets my goat, no, I don't have a goat, it's just a figure of speech, is that with this lineage or lack thereof, I get no respect. None. Just look at the obvious. Do I have a cat license that I can wear proudly around my neck? No. In cold or rainy weather, does my owner dress me in a warm raincoat and boots? No. Are there training programs in behavioral schools for cats? Not a chance. No value for me. No way. I'm just a throwaway. How can that be? Do I not have a beating heart? Feelings that course through my veins, love and affection that guide my purring machine. Do I not show affection when I bump against my master's legs? I'm a cat without social value. Nay, stay a moment. Hath not a cat eyes? Hath not a cat paws, organs, senses, affections, passions? Fed with the same food, hurt with the same weapons, subject to the same diseases, healed by the same means, warmed and cooled by the same summer and winter as you? If you prick us, do we not bleed? If you tickle us, do we not laugh? If you poison us, do we not die? And if you wrong us, shall we not seek revenge? Yes, admittedly, there are a few exceptions, especially those aristocrats, autocrats, and even fat cats. What makes them so special over a lowly cat like me? Their only leg up is that they arrived in an earlier litter and made better investments. Please, tell me why, with all my living, breathing attributes, I should be discriminated against just because I am a late arrival. Why am I cast aside as a nobody? How can that be when I know I am a somebody, maybe even special, if I can find the right owner who appreciates my lap love and soft fur? So I roam the streets, wondering who will come to my defense from its injustice when I have so little leverage on my own. I must beg those in authority to value me for my gentle, caring, loving personality. Perhaps there is an anti-defamation league for cats to protect me and others who are also victims of this profiling. In this vacuum, I implore pussycats everywhere, especially those who are victims of privilege and disparity, to unite. Perhaps together we can make our presence recognized and appreciated. Really, I ask you, what would the world be like without us? Without our conditioned love to absorb the moods and twists by so-called superiors? Can you even imagine a world without our contented
Thank you. The end.
Wonderful, wonderful job, Agnes. I always am like trying to quickly spotlight myself so that we don't have to stay focused on the interim too quickly. I have to say Agnes probably makes one of the best felines ever, which is great. She's such a good actor in that respect. She's a great she has a great ability to take her vocality and her persona and become all kinds of different things, whether they be human or from the wild kingdom. I think it's great. She was at the very beginning. We did one of her short play. She was it's a katydid, right? So she's got a really good a vocal and just a talent beyond. Agnes is sublime. Yes, fabulous. Great writing, Bernice. Great job, Agnes. Excellent, very unique. Marvelously acted. Well done, Bernice and Agnes. Wow, excellent acting. I totally believe her. Bravo. Loved the Shylock riff from Skip. Agree, Lynn. She is an excellent feline. That was my comment to Lynn, who said, Agnes, could there be a more perfect cat? Agreed. One quick comment that was from the last one that we got at the right as we started the new one. We loved the metaphor of changing the glasses, your lenses of life. So for Ed's piece, just that quickly. Wonderful writing, Bernice and Agnes was fantastic from Ed and Rannigan. Really great acting and writing. Yeah, that's, it's good stuff. We have just such a talented group of people in Stage Rights. And they've become like, a kind of little family. There's a core group. They go from, big to small. I think we've gotten to as large as 25 people. It was as small as 9 at one point. But there's a lot of people who have been around since the beginning. Agnes and Ed and Cindy and Rannigan, quite a few newcomers who we've included in this series as well. what's really great is that it's just become like an open kind of door for people to feel comfortable to come and share their work with each other. So they've created really like an ensemble of sorts amongst ensemble, which is great. And they've come to kind of be a part of our ensemble family, and all that we do in terms of our programming, and what we bring to our community in terms of our programming. So we have a new plays festival that they help us, kind of with workshop productions of scripts that they're writing. And then they also, are helping with these series of readings that we've had, whether they be in person or on Zoom. So really just a talented group of people. And then, of course, now they meet via Zoom every Wednesday from 7 to 9. If you're a playwright and you want to get involved, let us know. I will again share that page. I'm sharing that again in the link for everybody. That does keep you up to date on everything that's going on. It kind of lets you know where we're at in terms of what scripts are being done. And then it also kind of lets you explore a little bit about what's going on in terms of what the next Monday's presentation will be. So use that page for reference. It is very helpful. Bill Kleiman, great job and very entertaining script. Yes, I agree.
Next one.
Very well done. So yes, now Agnes.
No. I just wanted you to see the comment from my friend Deb. She said, such a great, talented group from Deb in New York City. That's my friend.
I didn't see, actually, that was right above. So once I
Oh.
scrolled,
Debbie.
it had literally just popped out of my scrolling because I put in the link. Such a great, talented group from Deb in New York. Yep. Yeah, I really love that this is giving everybody an opportunity to see us that's not from Cleveland too. But hey, we all love the land too. So we're going to be all like Cleveland is the bomb, because it is. We love Cleveland. And so, yeah, without further ado, let me move on to our final piece this evening. And I will let you guys all know at the end what our scripts for next week, or not next week, the following Monday are. But our final piece, Cyrene Peach, is by Josh Mandel. And he is one of the newer members of Stage Rights. So if Josh and your cast, if you want to turn on your video and your sound, and then if Agnes and Bernice, if you guys want to turn off your audio and your video, that would be great. I will here remove my spotlight in a second. If Josh, you want to tell everybody a little bit about what your play is about and introduce your wonderful cast, the stage is yours, Josh.
Thank you, Celeste. Agnes, you are going to be here, right?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Okay.
I got rid of my camera.
Oh, sorry.
But I'm here in
She was
voiceover.
reading
Got it.
stage directions. So
Got it. Yes.
this came out of kind of a challenge in our group.
Oh,
We were the suggestion was write a 10-minute play on a color. And I left the group that night, and just before I went to bed, I heard the word Cyrene Peach. It's really Serene Peach. It's, how they name those paint chips really weirdly. And Serene Peach is actually the color of my basement. But thought, oh, that sounds like an interesting one. And then I heard the two characters' names, and next morning I sat down and out it came. So I don't think I need to give any more of the background than that. The people that are joining me in the script are David Manel. He's going to be Sherm. I'm going to be playing Bill. Tim Tafkart is playing the manager, the store manager, and Agnes Herman is going to offer us her excellent stage directions. So why don't we go to it?
all righty. The setting, a local paint store. At Rise, Sherman and William are in front of a display of color chips, trying to select a paint color for the living room in Sherman's house that they now cohabit. They've been arguing over color chips for some time now. William shows Sherman a color chip. William shows Sherman the color chip.
Dave, it's your line.
I'm Sherman.
Yeah.
Yeah. William says, what about pomegranate?
Oh, you say no. Never mind. I'll start there.
Okay. William shows Sherman a color chip.
No.
William puts the color chip on a table next to the display. The table has a number of chips on it from fruitless choices prior to this. William looks at the display and picks another paint chip. William shows it to Sherman.
What about pomegranate?
Oh God, no. It would make the room way too dark.
William puts the color chip on the pile of rejected chips. William looks at the display and picks up another paint chip. William shows it to Sherman.
Hunter green.
And you call yourself a gay man? Hunter green isn't for homes, it's for institutions, hotel lobbies, nursing homes.
William puts the color chip on the discard pile. Sherman searches and picks a color chip from the display.
What about this Navajo white?
It's white.
It's not white. It has an orange je ne sais quoi back to it.
Just say no.
What's wrong with it?
White is not a color.
Sherman takes the color chip from William and tosses it in frustration on the table next to the display.
This is torture. Let's go home.
You told me if I moved in, we'd make your place feel like ours. You shoot down every choice I come up with. I should have known. You always have to be in control. That house is yours and it always will be.
Manager walks over to the couple.
Excuse me, gentlemen, but your conversation is bothering the other customers. Do you think you might turn down the volume a bit?
Oh, well, we're sorry, sir.
Why do you always have to apologize? This is a paint store, not a library. Why should a little disagreement be a problem? Maybe the problem is that it's between two gay guys?
Sir, I assure you that's not the case. We are an open and affirming company. Some of my coworkers are gay, and you aren't the first gay couple we've had in this store, believe me. Your conversation is so loud, we're having trouble conducting business.
Sherm, you're embarrassing me.
All right. I apologize. We'll try to hold it down.
Thank you. Perhaps I can help here. What's your project?
Well, we're looking for a color for his living room. I mean, our living room.
What are the dimensions?
24 by 12.
And what direction does it face?
East.
So it gets the morning sun.
Not really. The front porch extends over the picture window and...
But it's a very large picture window. It has a lot of light all day.
I see.
Manager looks over at the pile of chips next to the display.
From the looks of that pile, it appears you two are on opposite sides of the color chart. Which one of you is the deep color guy?
That's me.
And you prefer off-whites and pastels?
Right.
Well, they say opposites attract.
Yeah, and we repel a lot.
If it's not too personal, how long have the two of you been together?
About 1.5 years.
Ah, the honeymoon is over. You're in the stormin' stage.
Stormin' stage? What's that?
You've gotten close enough, long enough to show all of you. You're each fighting to state your place and get space in your relationship. It's a tender time.
You sound like a marriage counselor. Do you have formal training for that?
I got my training on the job. I can't tell you the number of couples who've argued in here. You learn a lot watching how they work things through or don't. Mostly they're quiet, thoughtful discussions. Then there are those quiet discussions that you know are really fights. We get a lot of shouting matches that look more like yours. One time things got so out of hand we had to call the police.
No shit.
I kid you not. All over a can of paint. It really isn't a fight over color. There's a history of unspoken words, unspoken hurts, and unrealized dreams behind that fight.
Listen, Dr. Phil, we just came in to get a can of paint.
Maybe you should go home. The way you're going, this guy is going to leave you within a year. Then you can keep your color.
Who the fuck are you? I'm going to report you to the manager.
I am the manager. You seem like a nice guy. What are you doing with such an angry person?
I'm asking myself that right now.
Sweetie.
Look, I know I overstepped my bounds. I can't help it. You remind me so much of me 20 years ago. You want more of my credentials? I got married and divorced in 2 years. I always had to come out on top, have things my way. I ran over my wife's feelings. She ran out on me. I deserved it. 5 painful, lonely years later, I met Donna. 20 years happily married, 3 kids. Can I give you some advice?
Please.
Just one word: compromise. Most of the time, that's the answer. Most things in life just aren't that important. Your relationship always is.
Manager points to the display.
Stop looking at the extreme on the palette. Try to find a color in the middle.
Sherman and William look in the middle of the display. Sherman picks out a color chip in the beige peach palette and hands it to William.
How about this one?
Cyrene Peach.
No, sir. Can I ask your name?
It's Bill.
And yours?
Sherman. Sherm.
Well, Bill and Sherm, that's the first word pronounced is serene, as in calm, peaceful and untroubled, tranquil. I think that would be an excellent choice for the room and for your life together.
Sherman gestures to take the chip from William. William gives Sherman the chip and Sherman looks at it again.
It's kind of terracotta. It would go nicely with the furniture. Our furniture.
The carpet too. It's warm and cheery.
So, do we have a winner?
Yes.
Yes.
Good for you two. For a 24 by 12 room, you might need 1.25 gallons. What color's on the wall now?
White.
That would definitely be enough. Just mix the cans as you go so the color is uniform. So what sheen do you want?
Sheen.
How shiny? There's flat, eggshell, satin, a whole range of glosses.
Gloss is for trim. I have flat all through the house. But that doesn't mean anything. You choose. I can live with anything but gloss.
I like the eggshell.
Sherman puts his arm around William.
Then eggshell it is.
William reaches into his wallet and takes his credit card out. William hands the card to the manager.
It's my investment in our home.
The manager looks at the card and looks up at the couple.
Hey, your name is William and yours is Sherman. Sherman William, that's funny.
Yeah, it's a panic.
You get that all the time.
Well, you have to admit it's appropriate here. I bet a lot of people get a kick out of it.
Our friend Benji hates that joke.
Why?
His last name is Moore.
Fini.
Nice work. Ugh. My face hurts a little bit. You always know that it's funny when my face hurts a little bit. Thank you, Josh. As an actor and a playwright this time, David and Tim, wonderful work. Your comedic timing, David, is really great. You're up and then you're down. I mean, comedy is also too, how you go up and down very quickly. Comedic timing can be very important. and understanding how that kind of all works is also important when presenting well. I did love the play on the Serene and the Cyrene, and the Sherwin and William at the very end. That was very intelligent. Very clever, great humor from Rannigan. Excellent. Oh, you're so funny, Skip. Excellent humor. That was a good one. Some smart people in this Zoom tonight. Another wonderful little gem from Deb. Agnes, you were great, very cute. Bernice, Brian and Molly. I think that was from the last one. That was extremely fun. Thank you. So fun. Thanks everyone for this fun evening on a cold night. Yeah, it is freezing here in Cleveland. There needs to be something going on to warm this stuff up. It is a little too cold for my liking. 3 really great pieces. Very interesting to take relationship, into a paint store and then discovering your relationship with your partner in terms of your picking your paint. So that is probably, I can relate to that for sure. I'm sure every one of us can. Design is quite a discussion with me and my husband quite often. So yeah, really great 3 scripts we had here tonight. Really wonderful kind of array of topics and dynamics, and really wonderful group of actors and playwrights this evening. I did want to share the link one more time so that just in case, it looks like I had somebody who came in right at like the last 10 minutes, and I admitted them, so I don't know what they did or didn't see. These will always get archived and put up on that same page that I shared the link for everybody to. So everyone from the beginning, I think we started in September. It was like September 21st. So every single one that we've done so far, all 9 of them will be up there, and you can watch the whole thing. You can throw it up on your TV. You can do whatever you like with it. But if for any reason you missed any of tonight's Zoom or Facebook live stream, you can always go back to Facebook and look at it as well. But they will also be archived on that page as well. So I will let everybody get to whatever warming themselves they need to do. I'm gonna go make some hot tea, and watch a movie with my husband, and fix our fireplace, our brand new gas fireplace. I'm very excited about that. And so I want to wish everybody just a good evening. My dog is joining us for the final moment. Oh, he's
Great
on
job,
the other
everybody.
end.
Great job, Celeste.
Thank you. Yes, thank you, Josh. Thank you, Ed, and thank you, Bernice. Thank you, actors. What a wonderful breadth of talent we have here in Cleveland. My dog is trying to drink my tea. No, tea is not for puppies. Thank you guys so much for joining us. There's such a great well of talent in terms of writing and acting in Cleveland. Thank you all for a wonderful evening from Jean. Great work, cast. Josh, we love it. From Brian and Molly. Loved all the plays. I enjoyed first time joining from Amber. So it's really nice. I think it's really great, the group of people that we're getting to come and kind of watch these. Ensemble is all about an ensemble, a family of artists, of actors, of audience. So we will not be here next Monday, but we will be back the following Monday. And that following Monday, I'll have a couple of announcements because we have some actual other stuff we will be doing virtually that we're excited to get ready to announce here. We're planning on going back to in-person stuff in the probably summer, but most definitely in the fall. So stay tuned for that update. Because like people said at the very beginning of this Zoom, I can't wait till we get to do all this stuff in person again. I miss opening nights. I miss hugging people. I miss being around my fellow artists. It is something that cannot be replaced in any way, shape, or form. So once again, thank you, everyone. I don't know if there's anybody else who wanted to share anything before we end this evening. My dog is sitting on my lap while I'm typing on my computer. You're so funny, Roscoe. If there's anybody else who wanted to share anything before we go, otherwise I will see you guys all in about 2 weeks.
All right,
Good
see
to
you
see
now.
everybody.
Good night. Great job,
Thank you
everybody.
all. Great job, everyone.
Take care.
I will end the live Facebook Live as we all leave here.